Hey friends, and welcome into my craft room. It has been so long since I've shown my face, and there's good reasons for that. One of the very first updates is that, well, Heidi has to wear glasses a lot more now. I turned 43 in October, and it was like my vision just went downhill really quickly. And I heard a lot of funny rumors that when you hit about 42, 43, maybe up to 45, that your vision will change quite a bit. And mine actually did. My word, there is so much to share. So much has changed. So much has gone on in this year. I will say that 2024 will go down in the books as one of my least favorite years in my life. And it's not because there wasn't good growth. It was just a lot of high emotion. A lot of really big things took place this year. So at the beginning of 2024, we sent our first missionary for our church off into the big wide world. Our Bradley, he went on his mission to Orem, Utah. And some of you have actually ran into him and have been so kind and have, you know, given him a drink of water or given him a treat at the front door when he's out tracting with his companion. I want to thank those people who have done that. That has meant so much to our family. But he is doing fantastic. He is about to hit 1 year out in the mission field, and I can't even believe that this year has gone by quick enough that, you know, he's at 1 year out, because, oh my word, we've missed him so much. We get to talk to him every Monday through Zoom, and it is such a treat because we get to hear how his week is going. And basically he's out there teaching people about Jesus Christ and sharing uplifting messages and doing service. Now let me make sure I don't forget to give an update on my other two kids, which are Calvin. He's a senior this year. How in the world do I have someone who's 21 and someone who's 18 that's a senior? And then little Bear, our little Miriam, she is 9 years old. With Calvin, he's a senior, and so we're ending our last year of high school and wrapping that up, and we are making all kinds of fun plans for college that's coming up, for a mission for Calvin as well. I cannot believe that he's going to be turning 19 in this new year. It's so wild. And then for Miriam, she started a dance class and she loves it. She is just, I don't know if you remember that scene in Mary Poppins when she takes up the measuring tapes and she measures the kids to see how tall they are. And when she measures herself, she's like, practically perfect in every way. And I say that to her all the time. Miriam is just, she's just a light. She's really confident in herself, and she is just so fun. So with her dance class that she started, and she's just enjoying being in elementary school and growing and learning. Oh my word, I love my kids. I feel so blessed to have my 3 kids. Now to get to the hard parts. So back when 2020 hit and everybody was getting sick, I was one of the lucky people who caught it 3 times. And when I caught it 3 times, it brought back my childhood asthma that I was not anticipating having happen. And that was a very painful journey. There was a lot of unawareness that my asthma had come back. I had this one amazing nurse. I had gone to so many doctors, and it was at the beginning of this year. And I was looking for help again because I was just in so much pain. My lungs were hurting. And she said to me, "Did you have asthma as a child?" And so, oh, light bulb moment. Yeah, I did have asthma as a child and a teenager, but I grew out of it. I was really healthy and active during my teen years, and my asthma went away. So I just didn't even think that my asthma might have come back, and it did. And then I finally got to a point where I decided the inhalers weren't helping me, and I needed to just wean myself off of them. It was so painful, but I'm really grateful that I did it because my lungs ever since then have been getting stronger and stronger, and it allowed me to be able to get back to doing some daily walks to be able to strengthen my lungs. You will still hear me feel winded from time to time, and it's just because of the damage. So now that I know those things, going to the mental health part, just how it wore me down and how frustrating that was. So you will probably have noticed there has been a lot of repeats on my channel this year, and it was honestly because I was that ill. I was just trying to recover and heal. And I also had some very unfortunate things take place with relationships in my life where I really had to stop and evaluate things. I had to get real with myself. It was right around January. Again, it felt like so many things were happening at the beginning of January 2024 that I just had to get real with myself. And so I distanced myself from those extended relationships. I took some space and I started doing a lot of work. I started doing a lot of internal work, trying to figure out myself a little bit better. Friends, I'm a people pleaser. Boy, am I putting it all out there. But that's kind of how I am. I don't believe in being fake. I just don't. I believe in being real because I know that I'm not the only person out there struggling with these kind of things. And I figure if I could share my story with somebody else on the road that I'm finding of healing and, you know, progress moving forward, that maybe it might help somebody else. But I'm a people pleaser, and I have been notoriously putting myself last for 42 years. I'm now, at that time I was 42. I'm 43 now. But I had been putting myself last for all of these years, and it wore me down. I got to the point where I would skip a shower because I was in so much of a hurry to get people where they needed to be. Or I would sometimes skip eating breakfast and lunch, and it wouldn't be until dinner time. And then I would realize how starving I was. And then I would realize how stressed I was that I would find myself almost, you know, binge eating, where I was just eating and eating and eating because I was so overwhelmed with running and going and taking care of everybody. And if you're a mom, you're in this boat with me, because the job of being a mom is exhausting. All we do is run and hustle. And I feel like ever since we came out of 2020 and the lockdown, I feel like people have just been trying to figure out how to be happy and how to get moving again. And I think we've all been in that boat. I think this year in particular, a lot of people were really trying to reach big goals for themselves, trying to get themselves up and moving again after having, you know, all the stuff that happened. And I feel like I was in that boat with all of you. So I am doing so much better. I cannot stress enough how important it is to do the work for mental good health. I cannot express how important it is to have healthy boundaries. This was one of those ones that I really struggled with. I would always say, well, you know, a Christian gives and a Christian serves and loves and uplifts those around them. But even the Savior had moments where he left the apostles and went off on his own to ponder and think. Even he needed a moment or two to be able to separate himself, to just think. And I often think a lot about the Garden of Gethsemane and how much he suffered and went through at that time, and how he used that time alone. It was painful for him, it was hurting him, but he used that time to really dig deep to do the job that he needed to do. And I have a hard time talking about the Savior without crying, so excuse that. But just his example and loving deeply, but also being wise and not being foolish. I often think of the parable as well. I've spent a lot of time, is the Good Samaritan. I love the story of the Good Samaritan. There are all these noble men who passed up a man on the road who was injured. And here comes this man, a Samaritan, who didn't necessarily, his people have a good reputation. You wouldn't think that it would be him that would stop and help, but he does. He stops and he helps. And this is the most important part of the story, I feel, is that when he stopped, he took the man to, let's say, a hotel, some type of an inn place. He takes him there. He says, take care of him. Give him food, give him water. I'll cover the charges. I'll pay for all of it. And I'm gonna come back in a couple of days and check on him. That is the part that I really needed to home in on this year, is that the Good Samaritan helped that person in need get to a safe place. And then he continued on with his journey. And he took care of things that were important in his life so that he could continue to grow as a person. So friends, I just want to testify on this topic of mental health that I'm sharing today. Do the work. Give yourself the time to take a shower and to get good sleep and to get healthy meals in your life. Take the time to evaluate your relationships in your life, making sure that they're uplifting and that they're nourishing you, and that when you contribute back that same, it's received. Don't let yourself be in relationships that are going to wear you down to where you feel like there's not much left. One of the side effects of all those things is Heidi, she's a voluptuous lady right now. Yes, this is the year that I have struggled with my weight. No surprise. There has been a lot of hard things that were going on in here and in here. And I feel really good now, where in this new year, let's talk about the new year. We've spent a lot of time talking about this last year. In the new year, I have some really fun goals for myself. The number one most important goal is my health. I want to lose this weight again. Once upon a time, I had a weight loss channel on here, and in fact, when I started this channel, it was actually a weight loss channel. And then eventually I had God speak out to me through the Spirit and say, Heidi, you're not doing the thing that I gave you the gift of, which is crafting. You need to be crafting on this channel. And then as soon as I did, my channel took off and it started to grow, and I connected with all of you, my crafting friends. So with that all being said, in this new year, I have some really fresh new ways that I'm taking on. I really love goals, y'all. I love them. I love them. I thrive on them. Like, I just love setting a goal and trying to reach it. So in this new year, instead of trying to take on like 12 goals, who can do that? That's just ridiculous. Nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for that or energy for that. What I'm planning on doing in this new year is every single month, I'm focusing on one single goal. So in January, it's gonna be focusing on my food intake, just making sure I'm being smart about what I'm putting in my mouth. And if I happen to exercise that day, great, but it's not my main focus. My main focus is food and being great and smart with my food. In February, that's when I start focusing more on like exercising, and then I'm gonna just continue to move out from there. I have a goal for getting better sleep. It really is all about my physical health that I'm making all of these different goals. I like to always have like a motto or a mantra that I like to say that just helps me keep going when things are hard and I want to quit. The year of 2024, I wanted to quit more than anything. And I would say it a lot, this negative phrase, I just want to quit. I just want to quit. I want to quit all of the things. I'm so tired. This is so hard. I'm so overwhelmed with all of it, trying to get back to a place where I feel good about life and myself. My little pep talk to myself got me to realize the best thing I could say for this theme of the year is I am not a quitter. And I'm gonna have it throughout our house, and you're probably gonna hear me say it in videos all throughout the year, but I am not a quitter. Now, I don't know if you do this, but I love to do something called the word of the year. This year, I've decided that my word is going to be light. I really want to focus on the light of our Savior and that strength that it gives us. I want to focus on feeling light as in airy, meaning that I don't let things that are stressing me out weigh me down. I want to feel light. I want to feel free and peaceful in those areas of my life. I don't want things to continue to make me feel like I have a brick house sitting on my back. So those goals all kind of roll into each other of I'm not a quitter and the word light. Now, let me know. Leave a comment down below if you like to do the word of the year. If you've picked a word, let me know what word you picked. I know this video is a little chatty, but it's been a long time since I've really shared what's been going on. And I know a lot of you have been asking how I'm doing. I know a lot of you have been saying prayers for me and my family. I am so grateful for all of you being here. In this new year, I have some really exciting things planned. Some fun new themes that are going to be rolling out. I am so excited to get back to crafting. I am so excited to share videos with all of you. And I know that we go through winter blues. January is a really hard month for a lot of people because it is so cold. I want to thank you all so much. And as we wrap up the end of this year, I always try not to cry. Oh my word. Every time I think about the Savior, I start crying. I am so grateful for the gift of our Savior. I'm so sorry. I'm trying so hard not to cry. I am so grateful for the gift of our Savior and the love that He gave us through the gift of the atonement. And I am so grateful now more than ever in my life for the peace He brings me, for the peace and comfort that comes from His words. I found so much solace in them this year. I pondered His teachings a lot. So if this year was a rough year for you too, and you overcame some really big hurdles, I'm really proud of you. I really am, because life is such a gift. But it's often easy to want to give up when things are hard and things feel like they're just never ending. So I am so grateful for all of you. I've said that like 15 times now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and I'm just gonna say Merry Christmas to all of you. I cannot wait to get crafting with you in the new year. Woo! Let's get crafting, friends. Let's make beautiful things for our home on a budget. Let's use our crafting talents to heal those places that crafting are able to heal. Let's sit in our craft rooms and use our hands and make beautiful things that make us happy. I hope you all have the most merriest, wonderful Christmas and New Year. I hope that it brings you joy and happiness. And until the next episode, bye friends.